All right, so let me throw out a few things to you. Pea coats, girls with bangs, dinner parties, not being a part of a religion that your parents are. What do they have in common? Well, apparently they're all stuff that white people like. It's the book that you see there on your screen, just out. Christian Lander is the author, and he's also the creator of a blog that's been out for quite some time, also all about stuff that white people like. Great to have you here at CNN.com Live.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, so we're going to go through some of these other things
Sure.
and stuff white people like, because it's pretty hilarious. But where did this all start? Because the blog obviously came before the book,
Yep.
but what sparked the idea?
So my friend Miles and I were having an instant messenger conversation. Now, my friend Miles is Filipino, but we both grew up in the same neighborhood in Toronto. And we were talking about the TV show The Wire. We're both huge fans of the show. It's number
Sure.
it's number 68 in the book. And Miles said he didn't trust any white person who didn't watch the show. And so from there we started saying, well, what are they doing instead of watching The Wire? And we came up with things like, oh, they're going to plays, they're doing yoga, they're getting divorced. And I thought, all right, that's too funny. It's time to start a blog. So I just registered a free blog with WordPress and started writing, and it just caught on.
How did people find out about it? I guess that's part of the thing that a lot of people want to know, because everyone thinks that they can write a blog, but it's not that easy.
Well, actually, it is that
It
easy.
is that easy,
It is
really?
that easy.
But you have to have a great idea.
You have to have a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things about blogs is it's a title like this, so stuff white people like. It tells you exactly what it is in
Yeah.
a very short sentence.
It's a quick pitch.
It's a quick pitch, exactly. And so the way it grew was I sent it to literally 20 of my friends, and then they forwarded it along. And so whatever it is about finding that magic thing.
So it
that's
was
gonna-
like a pyramid scheme.
Yes,
is
exactly.
what you're telling me.
Exactly, but whatever that thing is, that magic thing that's going to make someone look at this and say, you know what, I have to send this to my friend because this is true or this is funny or whatever it is, happened. And so from those 20 people, and I mean, these are 20 friends who are not influential friends. They're, graduate students, graduate school dropouts. They're not very powerful. And they just kept forwarding it, and then it started getting picked up by other media outlets, and then it just kept growing from there. And more people started forwarding it, and more people started forwarding it.
And then
it
you
just
quit
blew
your
up.
real job?
Yeah, actually, I did quit my real job.
I love that. What were you doing?
I was a copywriter.
Ah, very good. Okay, so you use your skills
Yes.
in a brand new way. I'm going to go through some of these, and I want you to explain each one.
Sure.
And these are just ones, they're not in any particular order. I just picked them because I happen to like them.
No problem.
So the first one, appearing to enjoy classical music, a classic white person trait.
Yeah, this is a big one. I mean, because you're expected to love classical music. There's no way around it. But to actually enjoy it, to go to the symphony and really sit there for 3 hours can be quite a challenge. So the important thing is to know just enough to sound like you know what you're talking about at dinner parties, but you don't actually have to really enjoy it.
The trouble is when you run into someone, and you write about this in the book, who actually does
you're finished.
know classical music, a white person who has the whole canon available in their head.
You're finished.
That's the end of it. Okay. The next one is the idea of soccer.
This one's big.
Explain.
So, white people will tell you they actually enjoy soccer, but they're lying. I mean, who really enjoys soccer? It's impossible. It's not very entertaining.
And this is specifically American, obviously.
Yeah, and Canadian as well.
Okay, and
I will
Canadian.
say.
Thank you.
Because what happens is white people will study abroad. And when they study abroad, they develop this passion for a soccer team who was in the town wherever they were studying. And they get to buy a new scarf. You know what I mean?
Which is key, right?
Which is
The
key.
fashion.
And then when they come back, they'll tell everybody how they're really into football now. And they will call it football. They won't call it soccer anymore. They will have to call it football.
Okay.
And they'll have to pretend that a 0-0 tie is interesting. But they won't really pay attention to it. So if for
great.
some reason you actually like soccer, don't press the issue with a white person. Just look at the scarf and say, hey, nice one.
Right. Love the football. All right. Next one is the show Arrested Development.
Yes.
Although this has two parts, and we'll get to the second part in a second. But the show Arrested Development, which everyone has heard of, but no one has actually watched.
Well, all white people have watched it.
All white people have at least seen one episode.
Or they own the DVD. Trust
Okay.
me, on the
because
white
it
DVD.
failed
rack-
on television.
Well, that's actually what makes white people like it even more.
Okay.
To make it as a legendary white show, you have to have low ratings. Arrested Development, Twin Peaks,
My So-Called Life.
My So-Called Life, absolutely on the list. The Wire. This is what makes it okay because then white people know it's not part of the mainstream, so it's okay for them to like it.
It's cool.
It's cool for them.
As
to
you
like
say, it has not jumped the shark.
it. Yes.
Very good. The second part to that is that there was a band in the 90s called Arrested Development. That's also something that
Yes.
white people like.
White people really enjoy that band quite a lot.
Why do you think they liked Arrested Development?
This one's tough, but I think that they just
Even you're stumped by that.
yeah, I wasn't really sure. They had two good songs. That Mr. Wendell song was pretty good, but that was about it.
It ruined anyone whose name is Wendell.
Yes,
From
of
now
course.
on. Yeah. But white people probably like that.
White people don't know a lot of people named Wendell anyway, so it hasn't really been a problem.
True, you're right. I only know one Wendell, and he's black.
There you go.
And his life has been ruined by that song. Next one, it's all about friends, right?
Oh, yeah.
And there's definitely a hierarchy, you say, when it comes to what white people like.
Yes.
So you kind of start with black friends,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
That's very important
Yep.
to white people.
Yes.
But then gay friends, where does that fit into the hierarchy of the friend, rainbow?
Sure. So it is definitely a rainbow, and what white people are doing, and what they need to do is, it is white person law that if you are able to acquire one friend from every nation and race on Earth, you are officially declared not racist.
Oh, I
Done.
see. You prove it. That
You've
way.
done it. So
Okay.
white people are out there. They're trying to collect friends from everywhere. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And it's not easy. But there are rankings. There are ways to get friends that are more elite. So black friends, very, very important. But if somehow you can find a gay black friend, you have reached the pinnacle. As I've said in the book, it's sort of like a quarterback who can play linebacker. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a once-in-a-lifetime type friend for white people.
So, and you also, don't you go like a step further? You say a gay black friend who is a father?
Oh, with children?
That's like
Oh,
finding a unicorn, in your
Yes.
opinion?
a unicorn who can play quarterback.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
It's that rare thing that
Yes.
all white people long for.
And if you are this person, do not just dole out your friendship to white people easily.
Okay.
Give it only to those who can give you much in return.
That's sage advice.
That's what this book is really about. It's about how you can exploit white people for personal gain. Rides
Oh.
to the airport,
Yeah.
how to get them to paint your house, how to get them to help you move, how to really take full advantage of all the massive, massive resources that white people are in control of.
Because as a person who is half white, I feel as if I can both be exploited and could exploit by reading this book. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Absolutely, perfect.
Very interesting. I never thought of it that way. You're number one, at least on your list, and is it the same in the book that coffee
Yes.
comes in as the number one thing that white people like?
No, these are not weighted. These are
they're
sort
not.
Of,
Okay.
They are, so, coffee is just as valid as self-deprecating humor.
I
or
see.
Just as valid as San Francisco.
The pea coat.
Or pea coats or sea salt. It's just as valid as all of these things. But coffee was the one that sort of spurred it because it reminded me of when I was growing up and in high school, the first kid in the 9th grade to start drinking coffee was always a white kid. And you knew they didn't like it. They didn't enjoy it, but they were trying so hard to look sophisticated or to look older, and they would strap that coffee cup to the back of their backpack to
Right.
walk around and be like, man, I need my coffee in the morning. And it never goes away. And independent coffee shops are one of the best places to do white person research.
Oh, very interesting.
Yes.
Because that's obviously where they hang.
Yes, that is where they hang.
Got it. Okay, so where does it go from here? I mean, you've got the blog, you've got the book. What's next for white people and what they like?
Oh, for me or for white people?
Well, for you.
Oh, obscurity.
Obscurity is
Yes.
that's the ultimate thing?
Yeah, that's
Is that right?
That's what's coming next for me. But for white, but for white people.
Wait, hold on one second. So you would peak at a level of fame,
Yeah.
and then you would kind of hide into obscurity.
Oh, it's not by choice. It's just there's no way I can follow this up.
Oh, I see.
I'm quite aware of that.
I thought you were going the route of J.D. Salinger or something.
No. I would happily have people pay attention to me after this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do something to match this.
You've peaked.
Yes. Oh, and I'm aware of that, and I'm fine with it. But where white people are going next, I mean, the sky really is the limit. They've got their favorite president in position right now, and things are looking good.
Christian Lander is the author of Stuff White People Like. It's available at bookstores right now. And of course, you can go to stuffwhitepeoplelike.com to check out the ever-evolving species that is white people.